really ever want that. So that's, I think, why, Next Level started referring Mango. Um, why did we pick Mango? Richard said customer service is a huge one. I think they have a great price point. We're always looking at, something that's affordable for our dentists. So I think it just was a great solution. I haven't been involved a lot on the back end. I think this is more for you, Michael, but tracking that ROI, making sure that, what does that look like? Are the phones being answered? Different things, missed calls. I know there's some solutions for that. So it just overall, I think, everyone that we've referred has been happy to my knowledge. So I think that can go into now your question with Richard of what do you all do to make the office's job easier? What do you provide to make the front office's job easier, et cetera, that Michael asked, if you can remember all that.
Well, no, I think you broke it down beautifully, actually. And, there at the end, you said everyone that you've referred has been happy. So, we make their life easy, which makes your life easy. So everyone wins, right? I mean, you're right. This kind of was all born out of startups because, as you guys know better than anyone, there comes a time in a startup's life when they need a phone number for insurance credentialing.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even go there. Yeah.
Business listing. And Mango provides all of that to them for free. So you get the phone number for free. We let you onboard and start using the phone service for free. So you can start actually taking calls and scheduling people prior to opening. And you don't have to worry about any upfront costs with Mango. So you can allocate that time, resources somewhere else, which is a huge headache relief for a startup practice who already has so much going on. And then on top of that, we integrate with the practice management softwares. We integrate with their patient engagement platform. If it's something that is like online scheduling or screen pops, identifying existing patient callers. And then we do some really cool things now with AI that have really shifted the whole landscape for the dental practice. Where we're taking actual conversations, phone conversations that you're having with your patients, and creating these very nice summaries, these very nice notes, and logging those into your practice management software. So
and how does that help, Richard? Like, how does that help versus me answering the phone? There is no transcript. Like, why was that born? Why did you bring that on? What was the need or the void you're filling there?
So every doctor that we've talked to trains their front office team on.
Do they?
Well, They should be training, or the training manual. We don't train the people that way, but like maybe the training manual has got a lot of dust on it, and they haven't actually trained in a while. So a couple of things there is they should be training their front office staff to take notes on every phone conversation that's had. And what happens is a lot of times is you forget, or another phone rings, or a person walks in right when you just got.
You put it on a sticky note.
You put on a sticky note. Sticky note gets 6 other notes on it, and you just forget. And we're just human, and we're not perfect. So the idea that, hey, we should be taking notes on every conversation. This AI does that for you. So not only does it take notes for everyone, but it standardizes them. So if I'm a seasoned veteran who's been doing this a long time and I know how I should be taking notes, my notes are going to look different from our brand new employee who's like, what should I put? I don't even remember what they said. Like we're just standardizing that across the board for everyone. So those notes are nice and concise. And then a lot of doctors, they like to see the last conversation of that patient, whoever they have when they're seeing them that day. And they can look in the notes and see, on their last conversation, they were worried about X. They were fearful of this, or they're worried about price. So they know to bring that up in those consultations or when they have them in the chair. And doctors are absolutely loving this because it's enhancing this entire experience and helping them drive more revenue just off of having a better note inside.
Does it do the whole transcript, or does it bullet point it? How does it end up? What does it look like in the practice?
Beautiful. So it gives you a summary, and that's what automatically logs. And then it gives you a link that when you click on that link, that'll take you to several things. The first thing is the entire transcript. So if this was a bad call and you're like, hey, this summary is coming up as bad. Another piece to that too is on that summary, it gives you a score. Was it negative? Was it positive? Was it neutral? All these different things. And then what it does is it'll tell you, okay, I say this one's bad. It'll redirect you to that. You can see in the transcript where it went south, where it started to go bad. And then you can also see statistics. Did we talk too much? Did we talk too fast? Did we stutter? Did we mumble?
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
wait, I have a question that might hopefully doesn't stump you, but does it understand Spanish or yet?
Here's the beautiful thing. Yeah. Is like, as soon as someone starts speaking in Spanish, it starts to transcribe in Spanish for you too. So it's, yeah, okay. I want to say bilingual, but it's actually multilingual. Like, I think last I checked, we're up to 27 languages that it supports.
Can that convert that to English or not yet?
Yeah. So you can have it convert into English, and most of the time I think it defaults into English even when they're speaking in Spanish, or you can have it, stay in Spanish.
Okay. Oh, that's cool.
It kind of depends on your settings that you set up. So yeah, it's pretty wow. Pretty fantastic.
Pretty intuitive there. Yeah, I like that. Okay. What about tell us a little bit, I'm not really sure. Do you have any case studies or any ROI that you can kind of share with docs on, unanswered calls, converted calls, anything like that might show them what they're missing if they're not, covering all the time?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have some really in-depth reports that'll tell you your missed call rate, and no matter how much we've tried, adding more team members, adding more phone lines, the average dental practice is still missing around 35% of their calls.
They're still
missing around 35%.
I mean, with all of this technology and awareness, it's still happening. A third of the calls. So it's 30 calls or 30 new patients, or it's just calls?
30%. So, every practice is a little bit different, right? Some are going to have higher volume, some are going to have lower volume, but the average round figure is around 35%. So
wow,
you're only answering 65% of your calls. And some people, well, what about business hours? It's like, no, like the majority of the missed calls are happening because most people say those are all after hours. It's like most normal people like me, I'm a patient. I know not to call my dentist at 6 p.m. Everybody call it.
Knows that, yeah.
Well, bank hours. I'm going to call them during the middle of the day because I think that's when I have my best chance of getting a hold of them. And we're still just missing a lot of opportunity, which, a good chunk of those calls are new patient opportunities. And we live in a fast-paced world where I can just Google the next closest practice in my area, and I'll just call them if I'm a new patient looking for a new dentist.
Right.
So we see that a ton. And what our solution has finally been is we've built an AI receptionist. We've built an AI agent. Her name's Margot. She is as lovely at 7 a.m. as she is at 5 p.m.
Why is all the AIs women? I love it.
That's
all the bots are women.
Probably a much deeper psychological thing that I'm not.
Right. You're not equipped for that, or you don't even want to go there, right?
Speak to, I'll ask AI why that is. That's my answer.
I'm doing that. I'm going to do that.
Ask ChatGPT why that is. So, but no, we can use a male voice though. So you can name it whatever you want. So we have people like calling it all kinds of different things, but Margot is the basic name that we have, and most people select the woman's voice, more pleasant for whatever reason, or more receptive, I suppose. Soothing. Takes you back home to mama's cooking, I guess. I something like that. But yeah, I mean, the beauty of it is that we've designed it not to replace the front desk. We don't think that's the answer, but you need to have someone or something picking up your calls, because voicemails are just dying. They're a thing of the past.
Okay, I want to go there. I've been dying to ask you this. I'm so glad you're going here.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm calling a dental practice. If I get a voicemail, I hang up typically. I will. Any voicemail, anywhere. Yep. Okay. If I want a real person, I don't want to deal with that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
How have you seen, or what feedback or what statistics have you seen? Why wouldn't I just hang up on Margot? Like, she's not a real person. So now I'm like, great.
She's not a real person. But when most people are calling a dental practice, they're just looking for some basic information. They just want to, they just have a few questions they want answered, and voicemail can't do that. So
you can't put it on there, and at the very end is the hours or the you're like running late for a dental appointment, and the very last thing they say is, we're on the corner, and you're like, I don't want to listen to this.
You could try. Yeah, you could try to make a long voicemail, but I mean, people don't want to sit on there. No. They know it's a recording. Okay. But we live in a world where AI is, we know it exists. So I don't think people are like as put off by talking to an AI agent as we think. And it will provide the basic answers that people ask about your practice. So not only does it have a vast knowledge of dentistry, like we take it and we customize it. We take all the information we have on your practice. We do a custom onboarding when we train it. We talk with your office and say, what are the things that people talk about the most with you? And then we program that in. And
okay, so I can say, do you take my insurance? Or I can say
100%. Okay. Yep. So you can ask all these.
I thought it was just a voicemail. I haven't tried it. So I thought it was just a.
No, I'm going to have to give you guys the phone number, and you guys should call it and put it. You absolutely should. So here's the stats we're seeing. So last month, throughout all of Mango Voice, and we have thousands of offices that use, in dentistry, 27% of missed calls actually left a voicemail. And of those voicemails that were left, the average length of the voicemail was less than 15 seconds. That's not enough time to get a detail of what you really wanted to accomplish with them. It's just a callback number, right? With our AI receptionist, we saw 92% of the calls that the AI receptionist answered across all Mango. The conversations were longer than 3 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Enough to get patient info, answer a few basic questions, get them a good callback number, or get them on the schedule. Doing all those things that you would want your front desk team to do anyway, that they're trained to do anyway.
So does she actually schedule?
Yeah, so here's the really unique thing is that the schedule is pretty sacred, and we are working on the schedule, but we don't want it to like mess with the schedule yet, because we've heard some horror stories about AI getting in there and not scheduling at the right time, or like rescheduling crowns and rescheduling like
they're like, let's just move this and put a 10 here. That'll you come in and all your crown preps are canceled.
Yeah. So I think that in the next year or two, all AI agents will be able to schedule efficiently? Yes. Are they there yet? No. And our thing is like, we're not gonna just go in there and break the schedule and use a practice as like a test dummy. Like we're gonna make it work perfectly first, and then get it there. So, but what our AI agent does that's really nice is like, we take that conversation, it gives you that summary too and logs it for you. So if it is an existing patient, it'll log that in and create that note for you as well. So
with all with all this like tech conversation and efficiency, I think it's really interesting, like you said it in the beginning of this episode, that Mango's team is picking up the phone still for customer service, right? And I'm sitting here listening to all of these sharks. You're a shark this week, so all these sharks in tech, and I'm wondering to myself if automation is going to be the problem, because, for example, we teach a lot of our clients to confirm and verify patients so that the schedule doesn't get messed up.
It's a mix.
And then they say, well, Medento does that for it, sends the text out. Or Revenue Well back in the day sends the email out. And it's like they rely so much on the technology and the integration, and then the teams are just like, yeah, that's handled. And then, so I'm just wondering like how much this tech is going to screw us up until we realize it's a freaking problem.
No, I will say, Michael, it's a true story. I was auditing an office the other day, and I saw a 1 week out confirmation, no response, a 3-day no response, a 24-hour no response. Guess what? Patient no showed. And I'm looking
Shocker.
I'm looking at it in my head. I'm thinking,
how'd that happen?
no, I know how it happens. I'm thinking, where, like, to your point, why would you not at that 24 hours at minimum now pick up the phone? Like, what you're doing is not working.
Exactly.
We got to try something differently. So that is, I probably interrupted the thought process there for you, Richard, but that is interesting because what I'm hearing you say is, now we've got someone that's going to pick up the phone. So do we stop trying to pick it up on ring 3 and like, Margot's got it, you know what I mean? And there's still some components to needing a front office person, people still wanting that, or, maybe I call and I get it and I really want a person, I hang up and call back. So there is probably going to be that component. Go ahead, Richard. You talk.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty. If you have an honest conversation with someone, I'll ask you two: would you rather speak to an AI agent or a real person?
Me, an AI agent.
Really?
Me, a person.
Well, it depends on how good. It depends on how good they are. Like, if I usually have pretty simple questions that I feel like I'm going to be honest, I don't love all the worms and fuzzies. I just want you to answer my questions like this. Let me off.
Okay.
So I love online scheduling. I love bots, but you're not wrong. If I don't get a good one, I'm about to reach through my computer and choke the bot because it's like asking me, it's like, gee, manity, I've already said this, but sometimes in today's world, not in dental practices, but even when you get a human, it's not
what you wanted.
It's not what you want.
I mean, here's the thing is I think, to your point, is nothing's ever going to be perfect. We're never going to solve for everything.
Well, we are, right? The three.
I mean, obviously next level has got it figured out.
And
for sure.
Paula's already on it, and
we'll put you in that bucket. We'll put you in.
The three of us. But...
Okay, the three of us together. We'll just got it all.
Sorry.
This plethora of knowledge here. No, I mean, I see where we're going with this is like, we're not trying to replace the front office team. We're trying to solve this problem of missed calls. I mean, there is a vast number of new opportunities being missed because you're not answering the phone. And if you can just have an AI receptionist capture a lead for you and say, hey, this person called and they want to get on the schedule, that could change your entire forecast for the month of what are we actually doing revenue wise here at this practice. So the idea is not to replace your team. It's to, make
support them, right?
Absolutely. And the whole idea with our AI notes, all of that is not to say, hey, you don't get lazy and don't take notes anymore. It's so you have better notes and you can actually focus on the patients in front of you instead of the patient on the phone. Like at some point there's a little pick and choose here. Like, what is the priority? Is it the person on the phone or is it the person standing in front of you that's like, I have an appointment right now. Like, I want to get checked in. Like, you tell me what's more important, or what's gonna have a more lasting effect on your practice. So, all of Mango is trying to do instead of just being this, hey, we're gonna grow this real fast and sell it. Mango's in this for the long haul, and we're actually trying to solve some real problems in the dental practice to add efficiency, and that's our goal.
I can see this really helping with front office burnout too. I have an office here in AZ that, I mean, the poor girl can't go to the bathroom. She can't support, like, listen, there's other technology, which, is one of our episodes that helps with perio charting. But, there's all kinds of cool technology coming our way, but, she can't even go help the hygienist, without missing a call. Like, who are you sacrificing? The patient in the chair the hygienist needs help. We can get this done quickly. Or maybe I just need to seat the patient. Maybe I need to use the restroom. As a solo front office, I cannot do any of that if I don't have anyone supporting me. So I see this helping with burnout, helping, like you said, support and, just capturing more of those calls, especially new patients. Michael and I, we don't laugh. So that sounds horrible. We laugh. We don't laugh. We talk about docs. All they want is new patients, new patients, new patients. Meanwhile, they have 800 active patients that don't have their next appointment, So you know, then when you do get some,
or they're missing a third of their new patient calls that they're actually getting.
yeah, exactly.
100.
So,
Yep.
but I can just see, you know, I'm calling, I don't get very much time in my life. I'm someone who works 8 to 5 at a company. I get a minute on my lunch hour to call. Guess what? Guess who's also taking their lunch? You know, it's, you know, so I think there's a real need for this. So I love it.
Any other things, Richard, that you feel like your technology or your company's doing that's just like people are so excited about, even if it was one of the first things that you guys rolled out and it's old news to you, but like when people don't know about Mango and they first hear about you and then you tell them and they're like, what? Is there anything that you'd like to bring up other than just the newer stuff that you're working on that fixes that helps these offices catch more slippage?
Yeah, one of the things that really makes Mango great at its core is its user interface. So we have what's called a drag and drop interface.
I was gonna say that when I got the
demo of it. Yeah.
demo, it blew my mind, all the choices and the drag and drops, and I was like,
most phone companies, you just expect them to set it up for you and say, oh yeah, like make it work. Or like if you want to make changes, you actually have to call them and say, well, I need the phone in the back to ring after 3 rings because we don't want it ringing all the time because it drives the doctor nuts. Or actually I have a person who works at home and they need to be added to what we call a ring group or hunt group because they're going to field all of our new patient calls. And there's nothing visual out there to represent that. You're just at the mercy of the person on tech support and you're trying to dictate this to them.
and you don't even know what you don't know, so you don't even know what it can do. You're like, I wouldn't even know that my phone system had that capability. Do all phone systems even have that capability of what you guys do? Okay, so that's number one. They don't have the capability, and even if they did, as a layperson, I wouldn't even. I mean, I might know that. Well, hey, is there any way to turn the phone off in the back? That might be about as far as it gets. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, and so the fact that you can visually see, here's where a call starts, here's where it goes when our schedule is open, here's where it goes when our schedule is closed, here's where it goes after it rings 30 seconds, here's what it does after hours. You can see that visually on we call it our switchboard and our drag and drop interface. You can literally drag things down from a toggle, connect the dots and say, oh, this is where my phone lines go. And that visibility actually increases that missed call rate. So average dental practice is missing 35% of their calls. Average Mango Voice user is only missing 25%. So we see a 10% increase across the board just by having Mango Voice. And we do believe that it has a lot to do with visually being able to see, oh, okay, this is how it works. Because my experience with dentists have been they're artists. They visually like to see how things are created and built, and they work on the mouth. They're not like necessarily, going to business school, or tech school. They're literally like learning how to be an artist on the mouth. So if they can see it, they can really wrap their minds around it and start to enhance the practice.
Richard, do you guys have a solution, or are you working on a solution? Because we're talking about marketing a little bit, and that's my world. Like I'm constantly trying to get our clients to track the referrals better. And half the time the front office person isn't asking the right questions or whatever. But if they did, if there was a way to for you guys to tag the phone number that's being called and show analytics, that would be amazing. And then also if you're listening to the call, having some technology where the front office person that doesn't really care, even though we ask them to care all the time, that it's caught because you spend thousands of dollars of getting these phone calls. It'd be nice to know if we missed 4 mailer calls.
Oh, we do.
Do you know what I mean? But it would be nice if like Mango had a catch-all and then they used AI to figure out, what did that source really come from, Google or whatever? I don't know. Is any of that sparking an interest or making sense?
Yeah. So, I mean, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of marketing solutions out there, right? We hear about them all the time. And we probably get asked about this every day. Like, is there a way for this to just live inside of my Mango dashboard? And the answer is it's coming very soon. And so I'm glad you asked about it, because what we're going to be able to tell you is, did they call from this billboard that you have, or did they call from this mailer that you have? And how many times did they call from it? Was it a new patient that called from this? And what did they convert to a new patient? So we're going to finally be able to see all of this inside this Mango.
So you'll have conversion rates too. So
Yes.
Not only you're catching where the call came from, but you're also going to track if it got scheduled.
Absolutely. So you'll be able to say, okay, this was our Google number, this was our billboard number, this is our main number, and here's what they're calling, and here's what that number is actually doing for the practice from a revenue standpoint and conversion rate. And then the beauty of this all too is that all of this data lives in one place. So not just your marketing, but also your call transcripts, your call recordings, the analytics of that call, the feedback
Yes.
the company will give you on that. And then your AI agent, all of this is going to be in one place instead of 4 or 5 different systems. So
That's
this
fantastic.
next year, and we've been working on it for a long time, because obviously you're not the only one who gets asked about this or gets questions for this. And we see the really beautiful thing of this is just having it all in one house, one dashboard inside the Mango.
Well, kind of to Paula's point is, like, we talk about doctors wanting to do more marketing or have a silver bullet of marketing. And I'd say a lot of it is holding the patients that we do have, but also, converting the calls that we do get and having statistics on those phone skills. And
I was going to say, just tracking it alone, because doctors go on feelings.
yeah, it's like, oh, Jenny up front's amazing on the phone.
I don't think those mailers worked. I don't think the billboard worked. Jenny converts everyone. I hear her ask. Like, they have no idea. None.
No idea.
They never
zero.
know the actual, okay, who'd you talk to today? Did they schedule? What, they never do that. They know.
Oh, they know.
You know.
We do. We crush that, Richard. We crush that.
I believe you two do. You two know, right? You're the source of all truth. I don't know that.
No, I
talk to doctors all the time that don't even know who their phone company is or how much their phone bill is, right? They're just like, I don't know. That's the team up front handles that, or my IT does.
They don't know. Some do. Yeah. Some do. The newer docs are starting to be real intuitive of all of that stuff, because they don't have that same loyalty with someone who's been with the practice for 10, 15 years. You know what I mean? It's different now. So
yeah.
Well, you're gonna ask him the big question,
the shark bite question.
Yeah,
well,
of the week.
Of the week. To put
Get
a
ready.
cap on this.
Oh, look, he's got his little.
Moving on to my stress
I was
mango.
looking for mine. I was going to bring mine.
Stress mango, because now I'm stressed out about the big.
I think my dog ate mine. I'm not gonna lie.
my kids ran off with mine.
He likes.
Get you some new ones.
The question is, Richard, not so much with phones, maybe not so much with Mango, but in the next 2 years, that's a short period of time. In the next 2 years, where do you see AI changing our little industry? And that could mean anything or anywhere, but you're in a lot of seminars, you're doing a lot of travel. I see it on LinkedIn. You're having a lot of conversations. You're seeing a lot of new products. Where are we going? What do you think that's going to be a game changer in the next 1 to 2, maybe 3 years?
Yeah, so we have focused heavily on the inbound solution, right? So the patient's calling through the marketing, through the AI receptionist, getting rid of the missed call problem. I think the future is going to focus on the outbound motion. So having AI call and do insurance verifications, having AI call the payers, having AI call and do your recall scheduling. And if someone figures that out, that's going to change, how we do dentistry probably, right? And how you manage your team, how you pay your team. That's going to be a big leap. And I think that people are working on it. I don't know that anyone has it truly figured out, but I think in 2 years, you're going to see a lot of people advertising that and saying they have it figured out. And that's going to be, that's going to shift the way that we hire, the way that we train, and the way that we staff.
And the money they ask for.
And the money. Yeah. I mean, money they ask for. Yeah, for sure.
I love that answer. That gets me excited. If someone could figure that out, please call Next Level. We'd love to refer you right now.
Or maybe invest in that situation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, Richard, as always, thank you for what you do and the company you represent. Thank you, Mango, for having a great solution for our clients. And thanks for giving us your time and giving your insight. It's always a pleasure, my friend.
Yeah.
No, I love talking to both of you. Thanks for having us. And we're happy that we can be a trusted partner of yours too. So thanks for always putting your trust in us as well.
Yeah.
Right on. All right, guys. Another episode of Shark Bite Week. We'll close it down. Episode 5. Thanks again, Richard and Paula. Talk to you guys soon.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. Let us know how you like the show. Rate us on Apple and Spotify. Subscribe and follow for more.